Hi, my little babies. Welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. Book Reviews. In today's video, we are venturing back to our voyeur series. We are going to be reviewing book 3 in Fiona Cole's voyeur series, and it is called Savior. Now, this book pissed me off. Okay. I didn't dislike the book, so don't get me wrong. I really liked the book. However, it pissed me off. Okay? So let's do the details for the book and then we're gonna get into it. This book and all the books in the series, there are 6 books in this series, are free to read with KU. If you want to purchase this book for your Kindle, you can get it right now for the price of $4.99. If you want the trade paperback for this book, you can currently get it for $14.99. This book is also available in audio. Don't ask me who narrated the audio. I could not tell you. I recognize voices from audio to audio, like from book to book, but I don't remember names. I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry. I just am. But the audio for the book was good. I really liked it. Now, allegedly, according to Amazon, I don't have the book. I don't have the book here. But allegedly it has 282 pages. But does it? But does it have 282? Don't get too close to the camera because I don't want... You don't need to see all of my texture, okay? You're getting enough. You're getting plenty, okay? We're going to read the blurb and then we're going to break it down really quick because I can't be here for an hour. I just can't. Okay, I just can't. Okay. He bought me, but not to touch or taste. He bought me to save me and to atone for past sins. Handsome and mysterious, he swoops in to offer me a new life, but this is no knight in shining armor. He's cold, hardened by his past, but there's an inferno underneath the ice. I can feel the heat each time he looks at me, each time he gives in to the desire between us. No matter how much I push to unleash the fire in his eyes, he shoves back harder each time. He's merciless with his cruel words, telling me how naive I am, how little I know of the world. But I'm stronger than he thinks. When we face down our demons from the past, I'll prove which one of us is in need of saving. There's a typo. There's a typo, Fiona. It's a typo in the blurb. It should say, I'll prove which one of us is in need of saving. The is missing on Amazon. But my brain automatically filled it in as I read it. If I had just kept going and not hiccuped myself, it would have been fine. But instead, I had to stop and be like, wait, that word wasn't there. Candace, you should have kept going. When we face down our demons from the past, I'll prove which one of us is in need of saving and which one of us is the savior. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. About the author, Fiona Cole is an experienced author who specializes in writing romance novels. A science lover, she has a degree in chemistry and biology. Wow, cool. Which she uses to take care of her 2 little girls while her husband is away being a soldier. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So, the 2 main characters for this book are Alexandra and Eric. This is what I would consider a legitimate age gap. Okay? If you've heard me rant about age gaps before, you will know that if there's a book people on Bookstagram have a tendency to, like, obviously they wreck you books, right? When they make a reel or a post with a book recommendation, and then in the list of tropes they add in age gap, I expect that one of the main characters is going to be extremely young and the other one will be much older. Some people seem to think that an age gap, to list it as an age gap as part of the trope list, that they can do that even if the characters are only like 3 or 5 years apart. No. No. Stop it. Stop it. If you want to tout your rec, or even you as an author, if you want to tout your book as an age gap, there better be, for Candace, there better be 10 years difference between the two characters or more. Okay? Don't tell me it's an age gap and then I get into it and one of them is 4 years older than the other. I will strangle you. Don't. This book, Alexandra is 19. Eric is 31. Okay? So this is what I would consider a legitimate. It's not a crazy age gap, but it is an age gap. So Alexandra is broke as a joke. Broke as a joke. She lives in a trailer with her sister, who is a junkie. She's always strung out. She sleeps with men for money, obviously, like, right? She's not a nice person. Alexandra, on the other hand, is a hardworking, kick-ass kind of girl and does what she needs to do work-wise to pay the bills. They're barely scraping by. She doesn't eat most of the time. Like, when I say broke, I mean broke. Okay. Eric, on the other hand, is very successful, very wealthy. He is part of he owns like an IT company type thing. Yeah, he owns like an IT company. Him and his partner, Ian, own like an IT company. There are other guys involved. There's like a handful of like elite staff that, to outward appearances, they just run an IT company. But low key, this team of people track down like sex trafficking rings and save people. Now, one night, that's what leads to Eric and Alexandra meeting. Alexandra is so broke that one day, while she's on the computer at the library, the public computers at the library, she comes across a site where she essentially lists her virginity for sale. She's a virgin, and she hears about like this site where they sell, like, it's like a flesh peddling site, obviously. And she thinks to herself, the only thing I have of value that's left that I can sell for money is my virginity. I'm seeing other people do it. They're making bank, so I'm gonna do it. She doesn't want to do it, obviously, but she's desperate. One of Eric's team, Jared, finds the listing, automatically intercepts it so she can't get any other like buyers or whatever to contact her, and responds as if he's wanting to buy her virginity. He tells Eric about it, He calls Eric in. They're corresponding with the girl, with Alexandra. They think that she's being forced to do this by either a pimp or someone who's basically trafficking her and selling her body. They don't know until Eric goes to meet her that she's selling her virginity on her own, that she is the one getting the money. Basically, Eric agrees to pay the price, and they set up a meeting at a really grungy, pay-by-the-hour motel near where she lives. She's obviously very young, very naive. She's walking into a situation where she doesn't know what's going to happen. You're dealing with an unsavory person to begin with, who's gonna buy her virginity on the internet. But she gets there. And Eric should not be there. Eric previously went on a job where he almost died. And ever since then, he's promised his family that he will not go on jobs anymore, the actual pickup portion of the jobs. He will send in a team of professionals to go in and get whoever needs to be saved. Now, for some reason, this one feels different. And so, breaking his own rule, he goes to meet with Alexandra. When he gets there, he's like, this girl's beautiful. And she's also very young. Who am I paying? She's like, you're paying me. And he's like, what? And it's at this point where he has his like whoa moment, where he realizes that she's the seller herself. He berates her hardcore. And it's from this moment on, that is a trending theme throughout the entire book. That he has moments where he talks to her like trash. Like, he treats her like she's stupid. And it's a defense mechanism, clearly. But that is what pissed me off about the book, because I wanted to punch him right in the face. There were many times I wanted to punch him right in the face, because the shit he would do would be so outrageous. And I'm gonna get there. After he berates her in the motel, in the motel room, and he finds out that she's doing this because she's broke and desperate and hungry. He offers her a deal. You were gonna sell your virginity for $10,000. I will give you a job, pay all your expenses, set you up with something, and give you $5,000. Offers her $5,000 to come with him and not sell her virginity on the internet. He tells her he'll give her a job. The job pays way more than anything she's ever dreamed about in her life. She agrees to the deal. And even though she's somewhat reluctant, because she doesn't know what kind of person he is, she doesn't know if what he's offering is legit, but the opportunity is too good to pass up. So she agrees. And she gets in a car with him. And he takes her back to the trailer to pick up some of her stuff. And while she's there, she's taking too long. And it's because she's basically being accosted by her sister's druggy boyfriend. They get into an altercation. She leaves $1,000 of the 5K with her sister because she, at the end of the day, she still loves her sister and she wants her sister to get better. But she says, I can't keep doing this shit with you. Her sister stole the rent money and spent it on drugs. Like she's clearly a toxic part of her life, a toxic individual. And so she says, I'm leaving. And she does. She packs her shit and she goes with Eric. Eric takes her back to his apartment. So he essentially says, you'll work for me. You'll live with me. You'll stay here with me. And I'll keep an eye on you. He's, from the jump, he's attached to her. And I don't know if I'd say attached, but he feels something. He feels something. And because of that, he wants to keep her as close to him as possible. He watches her like a hawk throughout the entire book. She sees him after she goes to the job and starts to work for him. And at first she's like just a gopher. She gets him coffee, she does, right? But she knows that she has more potential to do other things. She wants to get into computer science. She wants to learn how, she's good at coding. She is very intelligent. She knows she could be doing more. And there are points where he will demean her and make her like go fetch coffee for him and make her go make meaningless copies and shit like that. But those instances are almost always directly after they've had some kind of sexual tension moment. She sees him as her knight in shining armor. And he does his best to dissuade her of that image. And the only way he can think to do that is by being an asshole. So throughout the book, that's a theme, that he does that. In between those moments of him being an asshole, they grow closer together and they form a bond. She finds out that he is what she finds out what he's doing on the side of tracking down trafficked girls or trafficked kids and whatever and saving them. When she finds this out, this just makes him seem even more white knightish. So of course he has to go ham in the other direction and be a dick. And when she gets the backstory for why he's doing this, which it turns out he had twin sisters who were both abducted and put into a sex trafficking ring. It took him a while to locate them and get them out. When he went to save them, one of the twins had died. Literally just died. And the remaining twin, Hannah, is so mentally damaged from that he feels immense guilt. Almost like survivor's guilt. Because the vacation where they were abducted, he was supposed to be on. And at the last minute, something came up with work and he had to stay behind to get their company up and running. And he feels if he had been there on that vacation, he could have prevented them from being taken. Hannah doesn't feel that way. She doesn't think he should blame himself, but he does. And so that's why he does what he does on the side when it comes to hacking, when it comes to tracking down these trafficking rings, etc., right? And again, when she hears this backstory, it makes her see him in that rescuer type light, which then makes him act the fool. So that is a recurring theme throughout the book. It's almost like a love-hate relationship. While that's going on, he's also very sexually attracted to her, but knows she's very young, very naive, and he fights it hardcore. Eventually he gives in. Over the course of the book, he falls in love with her. While that's happening, she gets contacted by her sister. Her sister, through the entire book, Eric has basically forbidden her to talk to her sister because he knows that she's the type that if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile. And he knows that she's dangerous. Her boyfriend is dangerous. She gets a call from her sister saying, "I've left my boyfriend. Please come help me. Please come pick me up. Meet me at the motel and come get me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of Oscar." That's her boyfriend. "I want to get clean. I want out of this life." She does. She goes to the motel. Foolishly, she goes to the motel and walks straight into an ambush. Her sister is there, but strung out. Oscar is there, and another guy is there. And turns out Oscar came across the ad, I think like a printed copy of it, in her belongings in the house. The ad where she listed her virginity. And it gives him an idea. Well, I'll sell her for money. We'll lure her here and then strap her down and pimp her out. You were fine with selling it the first time, so you should be okay with this. Psycho. Essentially, that's what happens. They ambush her, hold her down on the bed, tie her to the bed, and this other guy strips off her clothes and gets naked and is on the cusp of sexually assaulting her. I mean, he's already like grabbed at her and a bunch of other shit. But he's on the verge of like full-blown penetration when Eric and Jared burst into the room and save her at the last minute. And Eric beats the shit out of the guy. Beats the shit out of Oscar. Leaves her sister there to rot because fuck you, bitch. You literally sat there and watched your sister cry for you. Cry out for you to help her. And you were just going to let her get raped. He takes her back and apologizes and confesses his love for her. And she recovers from everything that happened fairly quickly because of him, because she knows that he saved her. And you know, they confess their love for each other and they live happily ever after. For the rating for this book, I would give it a 9.5. I loved this book. Between book 1 and this one, my two faves so far. My crown of Queen of Book 2 has completely fallen off because book 1 and now book 3. They fucked me up, yo. They fucked me up, but I loved it. I love this book. Would I recommend it to other people? Fuck yes. Would I recommend this series to other people? Fuck yes. Yeah, I just, oh God, it was so good. It was so good, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, if you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. If you'd like, you can follow me on social media. I will link them all in the description box below, and I'll put a little banner here on the screen for you guys to see. If you're interested in purchasing any of my bookish merch, which I do, I'm repping one of my own shirts today. I will put that in the description box below, and I'll put a little link here on the screen for you guys to see. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. But yeah, just go read this series, y'all. Just go, okay? Take my word for it. It's good. Go. I think that's it. I thank you so much for sticking with me for another video, another 40-minute video. I'm getting down there. I said I was going to make them quicker, and even if it's only 5-10 minutes at a time, I'm getting there, okay? Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I really appreciate it. And I guess I will see you guys on my next one. I love you so much. Bye. And we're back from outer space. I just came in to find you here with that sad look on your face. My nose is itching. I wonder why. Could it be from the 500 tons of rabbit fluff floating by? Ha 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 ha. Look at me with my bars. Okay. Do people still say bars? I don't know. Probably not. I'm giving away my age. Sounding like one of those out of touch old people. Why? Because I am old. I am old, okay? In both age and feeling. Anyway, you need to go wipe your makeup off because you look a mess.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You look like somebody punched you in the eye.
No, I don't.
You do, kind of.
Well, I do. I might have put too much black.
Yeah, you might put too much black eyeshadow. I'm surprised that I remembered all of the plot to that book. I mean, I'm not surprised because it was a very good book. But I am still surprised because even though it was a very good book, it happens all the time that I read great books and then 5 minutes later I forget the whole plot because my brain is trash. And I've read about 7 books since I read this one. How did I remember the whole plot? I don't know. I feel like I didn't even look at my notes hardly at all throughout the entire reading of this, throughout the entire review. I barely looked at my notes. It all came from here. Should have leaked out of here, but so yeah. Anyway, I love you. I gotta go do real life stuff. Responds Melanie. Anyway, yeah. I can't dick around. I can't dick around on YouTube all day. I wish I could, but I can't. Anyway, I love you so much. I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. Here comes Freckles with the drinking. Wait for it. Oh, you're psyching me out? You're gonna psych me out right now? Oh, fuck you. He literally came up, took like one little sip, and then backed off of it. I was like, my sanity is in tatters. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye. Clickety click, 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 click.